Amazing. Welcome, welcome everybody to the University of the Underground Whistleblowing Residency. Yes, we are absolutely blessed to have the incredible Audrey Gbaguidi with us. She is
Merci. Thank you.
She's an artist, a thinker, a dreamer, a revolutionary, a radical spirit, a spiritualist, so many different things. And in so many facets and aspects of her life, she's guided by, many different kind of notions of truth. Whether that be a personal truth, a spiritual truth, a radical political truth. And I think it's very rare, to meet someone who moves in the music industry, to move to that rhythm, right? To move to the rhythm of truth, as opposed to the rhythm of ego and the rhythm of success as defined by neoliberal, patriarchal economies of power. Right. And so it's been such a blessing to meet Audrey, to get to know her and to have her here with us today. She's an incredible musician, artist, poet, lover of chocolate. And yeah, thank you.
Nice to hear your love again.
So without further ado, Audrey, please share and unfurl your reflections on the relationship between truth seeking, music, your journey. We are here to listen.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm so pleased to be here. Actually, since the first time I've done a class with Aditya, I've become addicted. A little bit because I never thought that like seeing people and talking to people on Zoom would actually make me feel something. I never done that. Like, I don't know, 6 months ago, it was not even an option for me. I'm used to be on stage and used to see people for real in the crowd, and yeah, I was not really into technologies, and I really discovered with Aditi and with those classes that the energy circulates anyway through any sort of medium, as long as we are, true to ourselves. So that's why that's actually the theme of what I wanted to talk about. It's like she said, I'm a singer. I mean, I'm I guess people define me like this, but I'm also a lot of other things. But I've decided to make of this my main activity, and I flourish in this industry since almost 20 years now. I started quite young, so I went through all the things that you can go through, like in the music industry, when you are young, when you are Black, when you are a female, when you are. So it's not all a catastrophe, but it's a lot of catastrophes. You need to fight a lot, but at the same time, you don't want to fight. You're here to, play, to enjoy yourself, to meet people, to thrive. I mean, that's what I meant when I started it. And then, of course, you realize that there is that, but there is the most of everything else is a fight, so I don't want to discourage anyone, because if I had to do it again, I will do it all again. But at the same time, you need to be aware at some point and realistic, so you can actually surf in the best way and get where you really want to go. So for me, it's been a real journey. Like at the beginning, I was too young, so people wouldn't ask for my mind. And then I got more experienced, and then people were like, so now she's talking, but do we allow her to talk? Because and then after there were maybe the boys and girls stuff. You need to prove that you're like super female, right? As just a female, I'm supposed to be able to navigate with everyone else. And then after you need to show them that you're useful, really useful, and that you deserve to be here. Then when they actually realize it, they might test you again and again and again, and you're like, okay, actually I thought I have a room, I've made a place for myself, but actually I'm still looking for that place all the time, even almost 20 years after. So it's like, wait a minute, when do you actually have a seat and feel totally comfortable? Sorry, excuse me, there's a call. And yeah, when do you actually can sit on that chair that you built for yourself? Actually, no one really, gave it to you, and feel safe and comfortable, and with your tribe and all that. And I've realized through all these years that I've oh, sorry, during some noise. Yeah, I navigated into like a real mainstream, actually, platform. It was not the goal, but I quite quickly arrived into some, industry level of industry that I didn't even thought I will evolve with, like big stars, big stages, quite quickly, very young, literally coming from the street, because I started in, like, I had to leave my family quite early, so I was literally in the street. And a year later, after my grade A, went to Paris and started the music, and literally was eating caviar and all sort of crazy stuff with like the biggest star. And yeah, that was actually interesting to realize after all that I was still trying. And at some point you just wonder, what are you trying to do? Just want to sing, just want to express myself, just, I'm an artist, I just genuinely want to exchange with other artists, genuinely wants to share what I do with people, and heal, if I can, entertain if I can, and then everything else around that, I would say, before the stage and after the stage, is actually something that it takes a lot more energy than what I thought. The other people, the jealousy, the ego of every artist, and me included, the competition, everything that I didn't, I was not there for it, at all. Like I'm aware that as an artist you need to have a certain ego to be there standing and working a stage of like 100,000 people. You need to have this strength, definitely, and this confidence. But it doesn't mean for me to erase or delete other people that are next to me, and I actually found out that, yeah, it does exist. People are in competition with you. They're looking at you like as a threat, while you're actually playing, you're in the same team. So that concept for me was like impossible. And then when you realize that you're actually in a team with people that, yeah, everyone is not working on themselves and not thinking as in that way, as an ensemble, and that naively struck me for a bit. I started to feel disappointed, started to realize, started to be realistic, and that was not a pleasant moment. It took me a while, because I was really naive. I really thought like I could just go and make my music and be that girl and just enjoying myself and make people enjoy. And then, yeah, when I started going back home, a bit heartbroken sometimes, I was wondering why, a bit I don't know, you're in the best stages, and from the outside everyone is so happy for you, and they think you're living your best life, but internally, who didn't get that feeling where you come back home and you're like, wow, it's actually hurting, I don't know exactly why, I felt that vibe, I felt that thing that I don't know what it means, I felt all the stuff that was not only about the music, not only about the, so what is actually going on. And yeah, after all this time, I can actually say that the only way for me to stay true to myself, it's actually to be able to look at me in the mirror and say, I am not hating on anyone, I am not jealous of anyone, even though it's a natural feeling, but I think, you know, the sun, I think the sun is shining for everyone. So if it's not me today, if it's her, then it's cool for her, and then it will be me next year, next time. I mean, I'm really trying to uh, to stay grounded and on the mission, you know, like we are building something from A to Z. Whatever it is, we don't know what it is yet at first. We're just building, meeting people, creating every day, uh, having surprises, good and bad, but we're still building. And then, you know, it's one brick after brick, and sometimes the bricks are just falling down, and you have to put them again. That's part of the way. That's part of the journey. But definitely, I think the truth to yourself, the integrity, is a big part, because sometimes you might think you're going to take an elevator just following certain type of people, and you might take that elevator and you know, go through like another 20 floors instead of, you know, walking. You're going to take the elevator, but you actually might go down straight after, because maybe the light is too shining, too strong there, and you're not prepared for that, and that's not exactly what you wanted, and you just followed a road that you thought was, you know, the one that everyone's taking. And but like the listening to yourself, to not burn yourself so too quickly, I think is the one. I mean, you know, Tony Allen, I'm used to quote him a lot. Tony Allen was a drummer, the co-creator of Afrobeat, and he was my mentor. I met him like when maybe 15 years ago. I was quite young, and he taught me a lot. I was lucky to actually meet that guy at my age, at the age I had, because I could have gone to another way and actually lose myself. And this guy was just there to, you know, just to, as a guide for me. And he used to say that whatever happens, if it meant to be, it will happen. But anyway, like, and it's hard sometimes to, you know, to remember that, but I really think it's true. I really experienced it. If you burn yourself and you try to go further, faster, you know, and actually inside burn yourself, and it doesn't go faster. You might feel like you're going somewhere, but you might return and have to start again. So that's the everyday decisions to make. I think every little decisions, whether it is you know, start a song and think that that one might not please this kind of crowd, so I'm gonna do a certain type of, you know, arrangement, and it's not what I really feel, but it's the vogue. Of course, we're all, you know, concerned by that those preoccupation. But I mean, if you're going on stage after and you're doing halfway what you really want to do, don't you think that people will feel it? Like, you know, we are on stage, we can't lie. In the studio, maybe you can do whatever you want in the studio. You can flatter everything you want. You can put auto-tune, you can flatter your voice as much as you want now. But the goal is to go on stage after and to you know, to be live. And live, you can't lie. I don't think you can. I mean, you know, like we've all been there, we've tried. you fail for sure, because it's only a portion of you that's there. And I think it's the worst feeling, even if nobody noticed in the crowd. I think it's the worst feeling for yourself, knowing that, and going back home and feeling like nothing happened, or a certain little amount of something happened. Because, and you know, at the end, like what is the most important? Like, is it to actually please sell, or, you know, we all going to die, right? What do you want to be remembered for? You know, what do you want to leave to your kids? The some kind of truth about who you were, some kind of you know, realness about who, yeah, what your parents have actually done for you, and what do you transmit to them? Do you, or you know, are you all about like listening the industry and trying to be, you know, to be the product that they wanted to be exactly? And well, you know, we need to change this world, I think, and every steps are important, and it starts, you know, really by what we project, the imagery, what we choose for our movies, clips, what you wear, how free are you, you know, to be, how do you want to move things, how do you want to respond in your interviews, are you going to lie to please, or are you going to stand up for yourself? It's hard, it's always hard decisions, I know, because they're not, we are in the world where, you know, we're supposed to please, and we're in the world of Instagram, and it's all about likes, and it's actually a lot about hate, unfortunately, I think. So it's like, you know, it was already hard, I think, before, but now with the social media, it's actually even more contradictory. So yeah, that's the point I wanted to make. It's like, it might feel like it's the longest way, and it's a hard way to be yourself, but you know, how many of those big stars, like, you know, actually Bowie and Ray Charles, I mean, a lot of those guys have been, you know, told no way, you're shit and you're nothing, and they were so unique that they couldn't do another way, and they did it. And now we're not talking about how they did it, and we're not talking about how many times they've been said no. We're only talking about the light that's shining now, but you know, there's all this space before that we never oh, sorry. oh Am I still here?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, can you see me? I don't know where I am.
I can hear you, but you're now
I
back.
can see you. Oh,
Tap.
We just see your name.
We can't see you, Audrey.
Attends.
It's so powerful. You're making Zoom fall apart.
Exactly. So we can't see you, Audrey, and you're on mute. Perfect.
Is it? Am I here? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know what I was talking about, but literally, yeah, being true, being real, just serves the whole cause. Your art, your music, your films, your whatever you want to do, and the actual pleasure of not pleasing is actually is actually a very, it's weird, it's something we haven't, you know, we're not taught about, but I actually enjoy so much at the moment when people are saying like, I don't really like it, my songs or whatever, and I don't know why, like since maybe a year and a half, I'm starting to love it. Like, love the fact that I don't care anymore about pleasing. I don't care anymore. I have done my best. I have expressed myself. I'm just an artist, and I'm just expressing myself, not here to please someone when I express myself. You know, if I'm in my room and I start to dance, I'm not I'm not doing a choreography or anything. I'm just dancing. I'm just free. So in my music, I want it to be the same. In my dressing, if I want to dress crazy, I want to be the same. I'm not waiting for someone outside to tell me, oh, you have a beautiful hat, or oh, you had a beautiful dance move, or oh, I don't care. This is my expression. So today I'm starting to really love the fact that people are saying, I don't like it, it's not my thing. Before, it would hurt me, or it would even change my mind on the direction sometime. And I'm like, wow, you've lost so much time, because this is your journey. This is no one's journey, and no one's is you. No one is coming from where you come from. No one is, I mean, you know, this is our journey. We are born here alone, and we are living alone. And it's not sad, it's just what it is. In the middle, we meet people, friends, sisters, brothers, and it's amazing. And we are going to be, you know, deceived by some, and this is all fine, but this is our story. And it starts where and how we want. So if you don't like my thing that I've done today, you might like something else tomorrow, but it actually doesn't matter anymore. Like, some will be touched, and so we want someone, that's fine, that's totally fine, and that's actually joyful. It's not sad. So, and there's so much now, there's so much, quantity and infinite quantity of music and art, so there's room for everyone. So, you know, why do we care again? So, you know, starting from that point of view, why should we actually follow any real rules of an industry that has like almost archaic you know, strategy to make us products of their own, actually, because, you know, the goals are to make money. So we are you know, humans with a heart beating, and we are supposed to become a product. And you know, to me, a product is not alive. It's like a washing machine doesn't have a heartbeat. It does what, you know, it's been told it's been made for, and that's a product, and that's what it does, and that's fine. But someone with a heart beating will never become a product, and even if that's how they want to, you know, tell us and talk about in their, you know, meetings and all that, we are not products. We are alive, live human beings, and we don't need to resemble everyone else. Like, we need to keep our unicity. I really do think, and we need to make that world keep going, like going in a way that, you know, goes towards, like, we need to think of the next generation. Literally, what we are suffering now, we don't want them to be in the same, you know, same problematics. It's not possible. Like, we, you know, whatever we can do today to make that to make it go forward, even if it's a little step forward, we need to do it. So from there, I wanted to talk about like a personal adventure that I'm living now since 2 years. So like I said before, I was a singer for Tony Allen, and it was like a dad for me, like a mentor. It was really quite of a private relationship that we had. It was a bit of a, you know, the daughter that he didn't have in France, and yeah, he taught me a lot. So he died during the first lockdown in April. Actually, yeah, it's in 4 days. It's gonna be 2 years. Anyway, so it has been horrible, of course, because, you know, it's like it was ticking a lot of boxes for me, and it was like I felt totally abandoned by life and by the world and by the entire planet, and the industry also, because it was someone quite safe for me into that brutal space that we are in, you know. I talk a bit harsh about this world, but it's also beautiful. I'm also having a great time, you know. I don't want to discourage anyone, but it really is important to be realistic, so you enjoy the best, you know, you make the most of it, of those beats that are amazing. And I wish, you know, someone would have told me before, like, you need to be careful with that and that and that. So then all that beat, that's great, you make the most, you know. So that's why I'm talking about that like this way, but it's not, it's actually also amazing. But yeah, Tony, the day he actually left, his manager, who is the guy called Eric Trosset, it's a bit of a cliche, but it's a white manager taking care of a Black artist who, you know, he never really had to do much for him, to be honest, because Tony Allen had these golden hands, golden dreaming, unique. Everywhere I would go in the world, people would be like, wow, what what this kind of drum, and it was really unique. So he made himself really not easily. At 60 years old, he was still struggling and trying to fight again to count in that industry. Even after he's been working with Fela and all the best, it's actually, for example, someone like Damon Albarn that I mentioned, because he actually made him to do the support him at a big festival. I think it was Hyde Park in 2005 or something. And in Europe, even if he was already really known in Africa, in Europe, I think that date, that actual event, made a big difference for Tony in Europe, which is interesting. It's great in a way, but in another way, it's again if you're validated by someone that's validated and white and really accomplished and really established, then you start counting. And it's like, okay, cool, I need it, so I'm gonna do it. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that, but it's actually it always need to be realistic about the context. So fine, he needed that push, and he got that push, and he started to be actually in France, asked for radios and and then he did more and more and more and more, and people started to actually realize that he's got more than the Damon Albarn's validation. He is actually amazing, and he actually deserved that from everywhere. So in like 10, 12 years, it became really big, and I joined him in the band, and we started doing incredible things and great tours. But he had a life before that. He had a huge, rich life for himself. But in that industry in Europe, he needed a big push. And then the day he actually left, he was surrounded by this entourage. He had this last album signed with Universal that he couldn't do, obviously, because he died. And then after maybe 2 or 3 months, we started hearing, me and his wife and all the close ones started hearing about an album that's gonna be released, a posthumous album. The wife, Tony's wife, had no clue about. We know for sure that he never done this album. He never had any sessions. So we're like, okay, wait a minute. There's an album that's coming out. It's a posthumous official Tony album. Nobody's aware. The kids, the wife, no one. And it's been released by Universal, and they're going to make money with it, etc., etc., etc. So unfortunately, talk to some other people in America about what is happening, because we were all totally surprised that no one of the family knows the exploitation after even he died. Like it's and then in America, a friend of mine said, but Audrey, it's a cliche, like it happens a lot. Like there's a lot of this exploitation of Black artists who were a little bit naive sometimes and just let everything in the hands of those guys who are going to almost write the will for you at the end, and take everything they can and leave the rest, the left for the family, not even. So yeah, I started to think and to realize that I had to fight at my own, whatever I could do. I had to fight for him and for that to stop, because this is a real cliche. It happens a lot. You can't die anymore. Your music is going to be remixed, is going to be redone by whoever, some new producers, we don't know. Tony really liked to actually say, this is the to have the last word on a disc, because it's his disc, and he really loved to say, okay, that's it, I'm happy with it. And for sure that
Oh no. We've lost Audrey halfway through her telling her story. let me try and get her back. I'm just contacting her. Yeah, real cliffhanger. Feel like her battery might have died. Whoops. This is what happens to whistleblowers. The industry attacked. Exactly. So yeah, Audrey, like Audrey was saying, she was not only working with Tony Allen artistically, she was a very close friend, and they had a really beautiful, you know, uncle, niece, father, daughter type relationship. And yeah, when we think about, you know, different ways of connecting and different ways of relating and like reimagining the relationships that we share with each other, I think Audrey and her relationship with Tony was like super radical in so many different ways. It was a site of deep mentorship, of deep nurturing, and within a hostile music industry, it's rare and it's difficult, you know, to kind of find relationships that speak to truth on a deeply spiritual level. And what Tony and Audrey shared embodied and symbolized this in many different ways. And I think it's quite important for us to think about these cliches that Audrey was referring to, right? When she was talking about the exploitation of Black artists, right? And, you know, there's like a long history of like the white manager, you know, extracting from the artist, transforming the artist, the subject, into a commodity, into an object. And unfortunately, Tony Allen, totally. Welcome back, Ali. Tony Allen's narrative was being kind of co-opted by this white manager, Eric, right? And he was kind of playing that rhythm. He was playing in accordance with that rule book. Audrey was talking about strategies, right? She was talking about the devices that the music industry has to ultimately disavow the artist of their voice, right? So we will support you. We will kind of give you the infrastructure and the architecture that you need only if you play by our rules. If you choose to refuse that, then we're going to chew you out as quickly as we chewed you up, right? And I think there's something really kind of disconcerting, highly problematic, and kind of quite repugnant when this is done to artists who have passed, right? So Tony isn't present. I mean, obviously in a metaphysical way, he is present, and he's also present through the presence of his family, through the presence of those he touched. But he isn't present in the literal sense to actually tell these kind of white industry people to basically fuck off, you know, and to not do to his work what he doesn't want to be done to it. Audrey's back. Audrey, are you there? Did they take you?
I'm so sorry. My phone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So sorry, my phone died while it was actually fully charged, and yeah, I don't know what's happening. Yes.
Attack!
Hey, are you all here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yes. Yeah.
Just giving them context, Audrey, about Tony, about like the industry, about, you know, how it's such a kind of typical narrative, right? Like the white manager, the white industry extracting from the Black artist, right?
Yeah.
And I think when we think about, you know, where Tony comes from, you know, the politics that he was cultured in, You know, he was working with Fela, a really radical artist, right? But he was collaborating with Hugh Masekela, right? Like one of the last records that he made was this revolutionary Southern African artist. And yeah, there's so many kind of tensions, right? As you were speaking to, like you as an artist, as a racialized artist, you have to survive in an industry that doesn't hold space for you.
Yeah, you have to constantly think about what's your place, and it's incredible, but at the same time you're here, and you know they know that you're here for a reason, otherwise you wouldn't be, for sure, you wouldn't be here for 2 minutes. And also, you know, like I was saying about, you know, pleasing everyone, we need to stop even wondering, you know, why we're here and if we deserve to be here, and if you know, this is an expression, this is a way of you know, of living. You're an artist, and this is almost like a virus, you know, you got it when you're born, and you can't get rid of it. So, you know, just go for it, you know, whatever, however. But yeah, just to finish with Tony, I had to take the decision. You know, the lawyer asked me because they were actually having a trial. The wife of Tony asked me if I wanted to be part of you know, this trial, and to actually sue Universal Music. So of course, as a singer, you know, it's Universal Music is the same, is Warner is the same, they all eat together, right? So I knew that doing that, I was in certain way also possibly canceling myself, preventing myself to have certain type of contracts in the future. You know, if your name is associated to a trial against like one of the biggest major label, you know, I knew that plus you're Black, plus you're female, I knew that it was not the actual best thing to do for me. But I didn't even like hesitate 2 minutes. I was just like, let's go for it. If I can do something, I will. And then we need to win. We need to make sure we win. And we need to make sure that everyone hear about it. You know, social media, I'm not amazed, I'm not enjoying so much social media, but if they are for the good cause, I will definitely go for it. We going to have the you know, we did that trial, and it's been hard. We had to witness a lot of people from the Tony's band, who were supposed to be the closest people, the closest musician he had, actually turning their back on us. You know, you actually realize who is who, and you can't judge them, because, you know, you have to understand that, you know, some people are not ready to kill their careers for anyone, which I understand. They are not standing for themselves. They don't have the, you know, the envy or the desire or the power, or so you can't judge. But, you know, it makes you see, and, you know, out of maybe 15 people that were really close to Tony, we are actually 2 left to have stand our ground and say we are certain that Tony didn't write this album, and we are going to sue Universal. And yeah, we did it, and we are going to have the answer very soon, I think in 1 or 2 days. And if it's positive for us, then it's the beginning of a new chapter, because we're going to make it's funny that this guy is actually never testing me, and he's testing me right now. The only one guy that I was talking about that studied with Tony. It's crazy. Anyway, he's actually testing me right now. Anyway, so yeah, it shows you who is who. It shows you also what you are inside. And I was proud of myself. I was a bit scared in some ways for a certain reason. I've lost a lot of people around me. I've lost, because there are the people who know that you are part of this trial, and they just really, even if they have nothing to do with that story, they just really don't want to know you anymore. So there are all those people that actually cancel me anyway, and will come back if I win, you know, of course, but I know who they are now. So yeah, it's just a bit like of a, oh my God, this is the war. This is actually a weird world, but it's okay. you know, I was dreaming of something a bit smoother, like music industry, yeah, cool. And then no, but it doesn't cancel my desire. It doesn't cancel my joy. It doesn't cancel my envy. It doesn't cancel my music. It doesn't cancel me. I'm even more motivated to be myself, to be with people who are, you know, willing to be themselves. And I guess that there are a lot of people, and together, I think it can be very, 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 very powerful. And it's one way of changing those things that have been, you know, settled for too long now. Yeah, but you know, if you don't start, like some people have started and have been cancelled and I've stopped, and I've been threatened and I've stopped, and I've been threatened even for my, you know, next project. Some of my next projects have been cancelled like out of nowhere, and I know exactly what happened. I found myself at some point like literally having no work at all, while I'm like a super working musician, like since, you know, forever. I know everything, I understand what is happening, but I think it's also like a big silence and a big, big silence for, you know, to step forward, to have like to actually make a bigger step forward, the one that I really want to, you know, to make, not halfway, but like, hey, but the full way. And that's so important, you know. Like I want to die tomorrow. If I want to die tomorrow, I want to have no regrets. So yeah, I will if you guys have any question or any, I don't know, I'm here for that.
Thank you so much, Audrey, for sharing and for being so brave, for like truly embodying that energy and the spirit of a whistleblower. It's amazing, you know, to bear witness to the work that you're doing, right? And you're continuing Tony's legacy in the way that he would want it to be continued.
Oh yeah.
And everyone, just for added context, like Tony Allen is one of the greatest musicians, one of the greatest drummers who was, you know, who kind of walked planet Earth. You know, he traveled globally with his music. He's collaborated with artists from like as diverse as like Damon Albarn, as you were talking about, to Common, to Huma Sakela, to Amp Fiddler, all these different artists. And he created an ensemble of radical artists, including Audrey. Like you were saying, you know, what does it mean to kind of to use the power that you do have to create differently, to reimagine differently? Tony was doing just that. And super quickly, if anyone wanted to pick Audrey's brain or just respond to what she said, that would be, now is your time.
I don't have too much of a question, but just wanted to acknowledge what an amazing force you are. And yeah, keep up the good fight. Really, I'll be thinking of you the next few days for sure. And the case and like if there's somewhere we can follow it or like get updates, I would really love to know. But I guess I was wondering how, because you've spoken about a lot of external energies that have influenced and can influence, but you seem to have a strong hold on yourself now and your core, and you seem in good spirits. Like, how do you protect your shield and not absorb or mirror what's around?
Well, I cry when I need to. I don't let it in because it can actually make you sick, and I don't allow any external things to actually get in me more than 2 days, let's say, because it's gonna be in for a bit, you know. But I don't. I always try to remember that it's just a game. Also, people are just playing a game. They are not home thinking of me, right? So there's no way I actually spend 2 days on them either. So yeah, it touched me, of course, but after there's like, I do also a lot of meditation. I'm quite, you know, a spiritual being, and I believe in a lot of I believe in life, literally. I really do think that, you know, everything I experience, good or bad, as a lesson and to teach me. And I try always to ask myself, what's the message this time? And I get it, I write it down or something, and then I just go for the next question. But yeah, it's just don't allow to consume you, because it's also only, we are playing a game. I always see life like a big theater, and we are all different character, and I have to play this one today, and even that character of me fighting for something, it's a character. I decided to embody that. I could have decided to embody something, someone else. So I used to also think of other people that are different of me, thinking, okay, it's only a character, she's playing the beach, that's fine. She's playing that's okay. Everyone does what he wants, but yeah. Don't let them touch you too much, basically.
Oh, Audrey, my love, thank you so much. Thank you for showing us, how to move and how to act and to move with heart, and whistleblowing, in the way that you're kind of typifying it, is coming from a place of love, right? You're moving with a love for yourself, for Tony, for the people, the kinship, the network that you, Tony, and Tony's kind of family have cultivated and created together. And we stand with you in solidarity. And please keep us posted, my love. I'm going to share your email address with this.
You can send the email, share the email, Instagram, everything that people want. And I'll share the songs also, everything I've done with Tony, and but I'll be happy to know who is there, like what do you guys do? I don't know if there's anyone who wants to introduce themselves.
Yeah, we unfortunately, my love, we've got another speaker now.
Okay.
We can continue.
We're just starting.
But we will.
Okay, come and see everyone on tour. They're all going to be touring, and you will be able to see them in Hackney, actually, very close to where you live, cool. In Rushmore Road on the 16th of June. So everyone will be performing there. So you will be able to meet with the orchestra.
It's my birthday.
Hey, well, that's perfect, because we're celebrating everybody's birthday on the 16th of June. So, looking forward to.
Okay, all right. But sending you love to everyone, and
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. Sonic Warrior.
Thank you.
Bye.
And you're down. Bye.